Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am so excited to be talking to you all about the summer romances that I want to read this summer. I guess they're not all necessarily summer romances, but they are the romances that I want to read this summer. So I have some adult ones as well as young adult contemporaries, which I am so freaking excited about because I recently read Counting Down With You by Tashi Bhuiyan and realized how much I miss young adult contemporary. So I do have a couple of those on this list as well. And these are not all of the romances that I will end up reading this summer. They're just a few that really made it to the top of the list for one reason or another. So the first adult contemporary romance that I want to read this summer is a summer romance. I'm assuming it has summer in the title. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This one has been compared a lot to Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, which is my favorite Christina Lauren book that I have ever read. I'm pretty sure it made me cry at one point. All I know is that the tagline on the back says 6 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart, a weekend to get it right, and that sounds so good. I've seen so many people review this already and say that it was very emotional, so I'm super excited to read this one. It sounds like it's gonna be so good. I'm pretty sure it takes place at like a lake, and it's that kind of setting, which is kind of how I grew up during summers, or at least my most formative years took place on the lake during the summer. So many of my core memories are literally that. So I'm excited because I think this is going to make me emotional as well as nostalgic on so many different levels, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to, I guess, switch back and forth between adult and young adult. So that I am so excited to get to and I've had on my TBR for such a long time is Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett. Believe it or not, I've never read a Jen Bennett book before. I know that her young adult romances typically get a lot of high praise, and this one sounded the most interesting to me, so hopefully I love it and then I can go back and read more. But this one I believe is a bad boy romance. So it's a bad boy romance. Love interest in this, his name is Lucky, and then our main character is Josie. I don't know much more beyond that, and I don't really want to know because I feel like if you read young adult romance synopses, you'll pretty much be able to predict everything that's happening as you're reading. So I want to go into these books pretty blindly, but I am very excited for this one. I feel like it will be a good like poolside read. Switching back to adult, we have one that I have, okay, Aslan, we have one that I've owned for such a long time, and I started reading and I was really intrigued, but I put down, I think because I was in the middle of moving, and that is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I've heard amazing things about this from so many people, and the back literally says the perfect summer read from Self magazine, so I don't know how trustworthy that is, but someone told me it's the perfect summer read, so we're going with it. I hope that's fine with you. Think About the One by John Mars, if you've read that. One of my favorite thrillers. I highly recommend. You definitely should. But it's a romance instead of a thriller. So basically, an app has been released where you can find your perfect soulmate given genetics, and like the app will pair you up and then you can talk to them and progress, whatever. It's a dating app that uses your genetics, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Our main character in this, I believe, is a single mom, and the hero is actually the founder of the app, but he's kind of like the bachelor type. He's not really interested in love, but in order to further promote this app, his like board, I guess, is encouraging him to get involved with someone, meet his perfect genetic match, which happens to be our main female protagonist, despite him not wanting to, as kind of like a publicity thing. And in return, he will give this woman like money for her time to compensate, which she needs because she is a single mom. From my recollection, that's the synopsis, but I could be totally wrong. Like I said, I've heard so many good things about it and I'm very excited, so hopefully I love it. I haven't loved a Christina Lauren in such a long time, so I'm praying that this one works for me and then I can go pick up their newest release, Something Wilder, and that will also work for me. Then another one that I picked up last summer and just didn't have the time to read it given everything that was going on in my life. We have Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. I have read Everything by her, and I got a whopping 12 pages into this before I set it down. Nicola Yoon, I really enjoy her romances. I mean, I've only read one, so I really enjoyed Everything. But what I particularly loved is when you're in a reading slump, her chapters are super short and she has different things mixed in. So I think that this one has lists or messages or something in it, which I'm very excited about because it just makes the reading experience a little bit more interactive and fun. And I really like that when books include it. So I'm hoping that I will love this one. I've heard really good things about this. And Jasmine Guillory blurbed it, who is one of my favorite romance authors literally ever. I apologize if the angle is slightly different, but I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm pretty sure I like this one better, so that's annoying. I don't remember exactly where I left off talking about Instructions for Dancing, but I'm very excited to read it. I think I was pretty much done talking about it. Moving on, I mentioned this in my June TBR. If you saw that video, I'll have it linked below in case you didn't and you want to check it out. Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is one that I am just so excited to read, and I think I might pick up probably this weekend. This one is about the Prince of England and the oldest son of the first female president of the United States, and they get into a pretty public argument. They don't like each other and they end up like having to fake be friends, so it's not an even bigger scandal than it already is. And then they end up actually becoming friends and potentially becoming even more than friends, so they have to hide their relationship. It sounds so good. I've heard so many things about it, and I'm just excited to finally read it and finally read something from Casey McQuiston. Then, again, something that I mentioned in my June TBR because I am so excited to read it is A Show for Two by Tashi Bhuiyan. This one I've heard is kind of like Tom Holland fan fiction because Tashi Bhuiyan actually went to the school where Tom Holland was studying for his role in the first Marvel movie about American schools. They went to school together at the same time, which is so crazy, and I'm very jealous. This one we are following our main character, Mina Rahman, and she is very interested in film and she enlists this kid's help. They're going around New York City for this film project that she's doing, and he is essentially supposed to be Tom Holland. Okay, it is very much like Tom Holland, where he is under a secret identity to research for his next role. His name is Ennett, and it's a photography contest, not a film contest. So, apologize, but I definitely will be self-inserting as Mina, even though I look nothing like her, just so that I can live vicariously through her. And lastly, one that I think I picked up last month is The Stand-In by Lily Chu. Lily Chu also has another book coming out as an Audible exclusive called The Comeback, which is about like this super driven lawyer that I desperately want to read, but I think that, like I said, comes out in August, so you could technically add that to the list as well. But this one, we are following our main character Gracie, who I believe is standing on the sidewalk one day when this black SUV pulls up with two actors. One of them is an actress and they're co-stars, and our main character Gracie looks very similar to the actress in this film, who does not want to do any press, so she asks Gracie to do it in her stead since they look alarmingly similar. Then Gracie is constantly with Sam, the co-star of the actress that she is swapping places with. That was a verbose way of saying that, but I think you get it. Her pretend co-star, I guess. And then it's their romance from there, which I'm very excited about. This one, very similar to Instructions for Dancing. You finished the ice already? He's looking at me like I'm stupid. One more thing before we go. This one also has like lists and journal entries and stuff in it. There aren't as many as there are in like Nicola Yoon's books. I still think it will be very fun to stumble upon and experience while I am reading and just enhance my overall experience as a whole. Those are the 7 romances that I really want to get to this summer, both young adult as well as adult. I am so freaking excited. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these or if I've added something to your summer TBR, as there will be a thriller version of this coming as well. And I don't think I mentioned this, but I plan on doing a summer romance reads recommendations video for you guys in case you're looking for some inspiration of things to add to your summer reading list. That is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really hope you're doing well reading mentally and otherwise, and I really hope to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.